welcome back to Conversations Live, where we connect you with the artists and authors you love, who bring you the music and books you can't get enough of. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. The Queen of R&B and Disco is joining us here today for the first time to talk to us not only about her amazing career in music, but what it's been like for her to really be a part of history. Gloria Gaynor is a person that many people know because of her single, I Will Survive. But this year, she's hitting us with two great projects. First will be her album that will be coming out on Amazon.com. We're going to talk about that. But also her book that's hitting December the 1st, also entitled We Will Survive. Ms. Gaynor, hello to you, and welcome to Conversations Live.
Hello, thank you. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Well, the pleasure's definitely all mine. You know, this is really exciting for me because, you know, I know, of course, in my generation what this song has mean, and you have been able to really, I think, impact so many people, not only through your music, but also the messages that you've been able to share, Ms. Gaynor. What has it been like for you to see the way that people have responded to your music over the years?
It's been wonderful. It truly has been awesome to realize that I've chosen to do something that has such a positive impact on people, and that's the reason for the book. This is the first song, I believe, that has had an entire book written about it, and the book is 40 stories of how I Will Survive has impacted the lives of people and encourage and empower them to be able to make it through difficult and sometimes traumatic circumstances in their lives.
Yeah, it's an amazing thing, and we're going to be letting our listeners know, of course, how they can be able to get it for themselves. Of course, the information is also on your website, GloriaGaynor.com. We'll be sharing that as well. So, you know, when you look at your career and, you know, you think about all of the highlights, I mean, you know, the way that people have over the years really gravitated to you, of course, not only winning awards for your music, but, of course, being recognized even recently, I mean, for your single being one of the, you know, the greatest songs of all time. You know, when did you know that music was your thing? When did you know that that was a gift that God had given you?
Oh, I think when I was about 12 years old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was singing in my stairwell in my apartment building, and a neighbor came downstairs and looked over the banister and said, "Gloria, was that you singing?" I said, "Yes." She said, "My God, I thought that was the radio."
Wow.
I must have sounded pretty good.
Well, yeah, I mean, I would say that at 12 years old, and now, of course, for you to be able to have this amazing career, you know, I think, you know, what has to be one of the greatest homages to you, Ms. Gaynor, and I'll have you actually talk about this, but as you talk about the book, We Will Survive, you talk about the people from, you know, everyday individuals, from celebrities, you know, talking about how that song has impacted them. You know, all of us have a story. What has it been like for you to kind of see how people's lives have been changed because of the message of those words of I Will Survive?
It's truly been unbelievable. It's been very validating and has added so much meaning and purpose to my life, to know that when I sing that song, I give people something that lasts beyond the duration of my concert, something they can take home with them, something that really adds to their lives.
There was something that you posted recently. For those who are not following you on Twitter, we want to make sure that they are doing so at Gloria Gaynor. But you posted a picture of yourself with Annie, who's a Holocaust survivor, who's also, of course, in the book. When you meet people like her, and she tells you the impact that that song had on her life, considering what she has gone through, how humbling is that experience?
It is extremely humbling. It truly is. This woman is 93 years old. She's more spry than I am. And she spends her life making sure that people don't forget about her experiences and the horrors that happened at Auschwitz, and how it can happen any place at any time if people allow themselves and not only condone other people being intolerant of people who are simply different than them, but if don't stand up and make it known that you believe that's wrong. And so very humbling to meet people like Annie.
And there's so many other voices like hers. For those that are just tuning in, you're listening to Conversations Live. I have the privilege and the honor of speaking today with legendary R&B disco queen Gloria Gaynor. We're talking to her not only about her upcoming release, the album and book We Will Survive, but what it's been like for her over the years to be able to share her amazing life. Now, I want to go back to you personally for a moment. The book, of course, tells the story of others and how this song has impacted you. You also have been tweeting quite a bit, Ms. Gaynor, about the importance of self-awareness, knowing who you are. Have you always kind of been someone who's known that your life has value or that your life has purpose, or when did you realize that?
As a matter of fact, I was not. I was not someone like that. When you read my book, you'll find out why. Because I had things happen to me in my life as a child that did not support self-esteem and validation. And so, no, I was not that kind of a person. That happened to me when I grew up and became a Christian and began to know who I was, who I am in Christ.
Yeah. And that realization, I think, has to be so freeing as you are helping other people to see. I mean, you even talk about in one of your tweets that, you really aren't living until you get to that place when you realize that value and that worth. And that's been the case for you as well, that you realize that's when your life really began?
Absolutely. Absolutely, 100%, yes.